I mean, I'll just do it manually because you guys are asking for a little bit of the disrespect. I'm gonna win the next 10 games, so let's put it at 160 and 0. We're currently at 151, but I'm gonna win the next 10, so who's counting anyway?
And the Oscar goes to Hikaru Nakamura.
All right, so let's get going with our speed run. Let's keep going, push the rating ever higher. Ali Reza got the fake Gucci. I don't know what that means. Let's play E4, start the timer, of course. Now on our list of openings from the tier list for beginner openings, we have the Jerome, the Smith Moore, the Italian, a lot of different options to choose from. So he plays D6, so I'm gonna play the Danish as well because everybody loves a good Danish in the morning. Let's play the Danish gambit here. Again, very fast development. I've got this quick development. None of these pieces are in the game, so I'm gonna go right for the kill with Queen B3 and E5 and Knight G5. Goes Bishop E6, so I'm going to take. Now what he's trying to do is he's trying to develop, because right now he's still up by a lot of material, but I'm going to go Knight G5 and I'm going to take advantage of that with all this development and his lack of development. He's got 1 2 3 4 5 6 pieces that have not moved yet, and I've got 1 2 3 that are very active, and just like that he loses the rook in the corner and he loses the game. So it's very tough to play against gambits if you don't know exactly what you're doing. Bond Cloud is not a legendary open at the beginner level. No, just take. What is my favorite opening speedrun to do? Definitely the Bond Cloud speedruns by far and away are my favorite. Absolutely, those are my favorite. 100%. Not even close, actually. Not even remotely close. So yeah. All right, so we get D5. I'm just gonna castle my king here, take the pawn. Yeah, so also the Grand Chess Tour starts tomorrow. Well, we will definitely cover that a little bit early next week. We have Ali Reza Firouzja playing, Jan Nepomniachtchi, Ding Laurent playing, all those guys playing. I'm just going to push the pawn, activate the queen. Don't care about a pawn because I have an extra rook. We do have a Ding interview that I think we'll cover a little bit later on. Let's go here in Knight D5 and Rook C8. Win counter is not automatic, so I have to manually update it. Let's go check in Knight D5 here. Goal is just to stack the towers in the open lane and win the game. So I bring the rook in, create the kebab on the 7th rank, put the other rook here, double stack, GG. Why am I not playing the Olympic Esports Series? Because I don't have the time to go to Singapore for 3 days in June, at the end of June. So because of that, I'm not playing. I'm gonna go here, create the classic patented right triangle, and I also have a fork here with Knight G5 as well. Oops, GG. Why not? All right, let's keep going. Okay, I'll keep playing E4. Goes to E5. Okay, Knight F3, of course. Yeah, I'm gonna play more Danish, or I could play the Max Lang. No, let's play the Danish. Start off with a couple of the Danish gambits. He goes D3, ignoring the gambit, which is kind of annoying, but he still has some developmental issues down the road. So I'm gonna go here and put pressure immediately on him. Go here, try to cheese him with Knight G5. He's got to be very careful here not to end up in trouble. He goes D5. I take the juicer, and I think he's going to lose the game very soon. Goes check. I will go check, hitting the king, hitting the knight. Classic patented right triangle again. I just take, and now the diag is open again, and he's just getting completely sauced here. Everything is collapsing for my opponent, so it's all good. The win counter I'm doing manually. I'm just going to play Bishop E3. I mean, I'll just do it manually because you guys are asking for a little bit of the disrespect. I'm going to win the next 10 games, so let's put it at 160 and 0. We're currently at 151, but I'm going to win the next 10, so who's counting anyway? There you guys go. It's all good. It's all good, you guys. So once again, hope you guys are having a fantastic day wherever you are in the big wide world. We are obviously streaming. Today is Friday, which means it is the final day of this week when I will be streaming. Obviously tomorrow I'm going to be going to the Formula 1 race here over in Miami. I have some like VIP passes courtesy of Kick, so I'll be in the paddock. I'll get to see the garage. Hopefully I'll get to meet some of the other drivers, because apparently a lot of the drivers love chess. So this will be my last stream for the week, but we will be back on Monday as well, just so you guys know. We probably will watch MasterChef. Yeah, let's go check and take the bishop. My position's like I'm up a pawn, but my opponent has no development here, so I'm not very worried. Which drivers I'm supporting? I mean, I would say that like I don't say I would support specifically, but like Lando Norris obviously subbed me on Twitch back in the day, so I've got to be partial to Lando. Obviously I like Lewis Hamilton the most, but you know, Yeah, that's not really saying much because I think everybody does, frankly, unless you're like Anish Giri or you're Dutch. So yeah, let's go queen d4 here. And go Hikaru getting wined and dined by the same guy who bought Clarence Thomas. What are you even talking about, dude? What are you talking about? But anyway, yeah, so from what I've heard, there are multiple drivers who love chess. Obviously Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz play chess frequently. I heard that Pierre Gasly and Lando Norris also like chess quite a bit, so hopefully I'll get to meet all those guys tomorrow. Now I've got a great position. I got to be careful because he has D's knights on e5 and g4, but should be good. How do I know that was a real Lando Norris? Because Lando Norris actually streamed on Twitch. That's how I know, and it was the same account that was streaming. That's how I know that it was him. I even rated Lando once or twice back then. Now I create the classic right triangle and I end the game. As we know, Pythagoras, even 2,000 years ago, he was like the forefather. He knew what was going to happen with chess and math, and we have the right triangle appearing once again in this game. Tomorrow's not the race Sunday, yes, but tomorrow's qualifying day, and the drivers, from what I heard, people are generally a lot looser on qualifying day. Obviously on the day of the race, they're going to be psychotic and not want to talk to anybody. So I thought, like, if I want to go, like, I want to go because I want to meet the drivers, actually enjoy the experience, as opposed to going on racing, when obviously if you go, you're literally going to watch a race, and if you go try to see a driver, they're gonna say like, get lost, like who's this random Asian guy, like why do I want to talk to him? Like, so I'm gonna go here, guard everything. So that's why I'm choosing to go tomorrow instead of on Sunday for the actual race, because at the end of the day, it's like, it's the same thing as like XQC. Like XQC is going to the Warriors Lakers game, right? And he's gonna go sit courtside, and that's all nice and fine. But at the end of the day, like, I can just sit at home and watch the race too. Like, I can just sit at home and watch the race. Like, if I'm gonna go, like, I want to get something out of it. So I want to get something out of it. So that's why I'm going tomorrow instead of on Sunday. Okay, he goes 96. I'm gonna go like queen c7, and should be good. Yeah, no, I was told that basically what I was told is that, yeah, laps will be faster, but basically the drivers are like, they're going to be much more chill on Saturday than on Sunday. And I get that, because it's like, I'll give you an example. Like, let's just say, you know, I have a tournament in like a couple, actually I'll give you a perfect example. So let's play the French, because it's an OP opening from our tier list. But like, it's like, if you guys see me in Stavanger, Norway, like 3-4 days before the tournament starts, I'm obviously gonna be in a great mood. I'll be very chill. I'll be happy to sign autographs, take pictures, whatever, and it's all good. But once the tournament starts, like, yes, I'll talk to people, I'll be friendly enough, but I'm not gonna want to go out of my way. Like, I'm gonna be very focused, very intense about everything, and so it's just going to be a different experience. And so I feel this very much the same way, where if I go on race day, people will be like, okay, sure, whatever, I'll sign some, but they're not going to want to talk, they're not going to be friendly, because like it is a serious competition, like it is sport. So yeah, it's just different. Now we're going to play the classic French opening here. My opponent is showing good understanding so far. Let's just take and play queen a5. Actually, no, I can check and then castle next move. I don't know, maybe you guys view it differently, but that's just me. So I'm going to castle. You can put the knife on d6, but I don't care. So I'm up a pawn. My king is out of the middle of the board. I can play knight c6, target the juicer, play d4 as well. Okay, let's just go here. Develop the knight, target the pawn, play d4. But we thought you didn't care about chess tournaments anymore. I don't care in terms of result, but I still want to put forth my best effort. Let's go here. Open up the center of the board. I'm doing very well. Go knight f5, trade off the great knife on d6. It's gonna take and play rook d8. Oops, gonna play rook d8. How does my autograph look? My autograph, I look like I'm 10 years old, because I have a very nice fancy cursive autograph, and so it looks way too proper. So yeah, let's go here. I wanted you to take a selfie with Lewis, but after that Magnus selfie, I'm not so sure. Oh, take a selfie. I mean, I know you take it with one finger, you don't use both hands. I'm aware of that, but whatever, I don't care. Well, I'm sorry, also I'm old school. If I'm gonna get a picture with like one of the greatest all-time drivers in F1, I'd rather have like an actual photographer take the picture so it looks right, than do some stupid like new age hippie selfie which looks ridiculous. Let's go d3 here, attacking the knight. The pawn on c3 is weak, and I can play like knight d4 and win the game. I mean, come on, you see all those great black and white photographs from like 30-40 years ago. You think they'd look good if it was some person just like, I'm gonna take the picture myself? No, of course not. They look much better when you have a proper photographer take the picture. Like, come on. Everything used to be better in this world. Let's play queen d4 here. Let's play bishop e6 or g6. Actually no, I'm gonna go queen b2 here. I'm gonna keep rolling. It's my opponent's turn. Goes e4. Do you want me to play chess with Gunter Steiner now? That would be funny. Let's play the Caro-Kann this time and play d5 here. Again, a very solid opening for beginners. Very straightforward piece play. Develop the bishop, push a pawn, develop the bishop, knight, castle. Very, very straightforward and very easy to play. That sounds much more like a Republican, much better, sounds much like a Republican, much better before. Well, I don't think that's true. Now I'm going to fianchetto the bishop here and put the knight here in castle. Now as a beginner, I actually would not recommend that you play g6 because you're creating some weaknesses. Like I'd probably say just go bishop d6 and knight e7. I'm not using enough hand gestures like in the article. Okay, okay, let's go knight e7 here. I'm going to castle next one. I mean, it should be good, right? Actually now I just look like a crazy Italian. Let's play knight d7 and castle next move. I can just castle and it's all pretty good. I'll castle here. I can play h6 and g5. Am I parting for Cinco de Mayo? No, you guys, I'm not. Let's go g5 and f5. Let's expand here and build big black center here very quickly, or I can take the knight. But no, I'm not parting because tomorrow I'm going to go to f1. Sunday I'm going to go to game 3 of the Panthers against the Maple Laughs. And so it's going to be a very, very busy next couple of days for me. So yeah. Do I like Star Wars? We spoke about Star Wars yesterday. I was talking about what my favorite Star Wars movie was. So yeah, I've got a great knife. I can build a big black center with the pawns connected, and it's very good. Let's go queen f6 here and play like e5. Great center. Could I ever do a collab with you, XQC versus Magnus and Ludwig? Well, I mean, XQC, if he ever does his podcast, he asked me if I would go on it. So I mean, I haven't spoken to Felix in a while, but maybe at some point, sure. Mishra is beating Jordan. Michael Jordan is losing to Mishra. Nice. Okay, I'm just gonna play for themes here. I'm gonna take, and I'm gonna show you guys why the Caro-Kann is such a good opening. We're gonna trade the queens here, and I get this great pawn chain in the center. Disney threw away Star Wars to the trash bin. I mean, you can have your opinion about Star Wars. I would just say, like, you know, I mean, I hate George Lucas for selling Star Wars to Disney, but you know, he got like, what did he get, like $2 billion? I mean, how much did he get? Let me see how much he got for selling it. No, he got $4.05 billion. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Let's just go rookie 7 here. So yeah, I mean, he sold Star Wars for $4.05 billion. Like, I hate him for doing that, but you know, at the end of the day, he's not getting any younger, and like $4 billion, like that's kind of like it's a good chunk of money. He's not young. So I mean, I hate him for doing it on the one hand, but I totally get why he did it. But yeah, it's sad because Disney definitely hasn't kept up. They haven't. I mean, I have not liked the new movies at all. I mean, probably my favorite thing with Star Wars, especially the newer ones, even if there were problems like storyline wise and otherwise, was that you saw all these unique landscapes, all these things that are so new. Like, even if you hated Phantom Menace or you hated Attack of the Clones, the second one, like you saw those great new planets. Like you saw the planet in the middle of the sea. What was it called? I can't remember right off, but the planet that's missing, I create Connect 4. But like you saw like these new planets. You saw Coruscant with like the pod, was it the pods where you're racing? Yeah, it's like Camino. You see like you see Camino, you see like you see all these great places that are so new. And so to me, it's like, yeah, I'm not, that was probably the one thing that I really liked more than anything in the new movies, at least. So it's what it is. Okay, I'm gonna go d4, create a Connect 5 if I can. But anyway, yeah, I connect the pawns. I can go here and just win this end game very soon. I'm just gonna go here, put everything on dark squares. Bishop can't touch anything, which is how the world should be. Let's play rook c7. And now I'll just go here again. Everything is on the dark squares. I can just take the pawn and win the game pretty soon. So it's all very, very good here. Let's go rook a3. I have not seen Dune. I've read a couple of the books, but I haven't seen Dune. No. Go king e7. Go knight d5, knight c3. I can put the knight on c3 again. Everything's on the dark squares. I'm curious, what's your motivation for keeping the atmosphere friendly stream, whereas most streamers don't particularly care about the language? I mean, I would say the reason is frankly because chess is something that a lot of kids want to watch, and kids want to. There are a lot of kids who play chess, a lot of kids who get into the game, and I think in general, it's just for them. There's no need to. I mean, of course, I'll get angry, throw a game here or there, and you know sometimes it'll happen. But I just think in general, it's. I mean, it depends on the audience you have, and if you respect your audience, like there's no need for it. Okay, I'm just up a pawn here, should be winning. I'll go here, block the king in jail, play rook back. Go here, run the king in. Just take and take. Yeah, we win. Next game. He has a weird profile picture. Racing is like chess where one blunder ruins the whole weekend. If you get a chance to talk to people who call race strategy, you might find you have a lot in common. Oh, no doubt. No doubt. I'm sure it's the exact same thing. I'm sure it's the exact same thing as chess, because probably you're trying to minimize it, right? It's like you have these windows of opportunity during the race where you can overtake, where DRS is enabled, etc, but it's probably very limited, and there are probably certain corners where like you tell them like don't mess it up, don't go for broke, because if you go for broke, then like you get no points for your team. Then of course the owner is going to be yelling at you, all yelling at the team principal for the whole week, and etc. No, for sure. I mean, that's not shocking at all. He's trying to fish hook me. I'm gonna go rook e2. Oh, rook e2 was actually a very bad move. I should have gone back to e1, but he has knight d4, which I missed. This guy's fancy. If I took, I got mated. He had check and mate, but now my king squeaks out to e2. Or even which lap when you pit or anything. Yeah, well, let's not have that conversation with Ferrari, because shouldn't Ferrari have won the shouldn't they have won everything last year until they kind of made some mistakes with pitting? I mean, maybe it's too soon for that comment, but shouldn't Ferrari have won the whole thing last year until they messed up with the pitting? It was Monaco, wasn't it? Also in Baku as well. Didn't they mess up like multiple races with their inability to pit correctly? It was not. It was more than once. I don't remember which two races it was, but it was more than once. Yeah. Ferrari wasn't going to win last year. They jacked up every single race with bad strategy. Yeah. Goes b6. Okay. Let's play it like a Bond Cloud. Why not? Let's just run the king up. My man just got his queen trapped, by the way. This is why you got to be careful. You got to take great care of your queens. If you don't take care, then some top G is going to swoop in and take her away. Let's go rook g1, trap the queen on g2, and it's game over. Let's just take and take, and now I just have an extra knight on the board, and it's game over. Let's just take the pawn, and I have an extra knight. GG's. Let's move over, double stack, trade off the bishops, trade off all these rooks and bishops, and win the game. Just take. Let's go c5 here. If takes, I just take back. Again, just an extra tower, just getting rid of all the material on the board. You know you're screwed as a team when the team strategist asks the driver what does he think about the strategy. That's actually true. That was pretty funny, right? That was pretty funny. Let's go rook c6 and rook a6 checkmate here. Designs next game. Let's see where we're at, because I'm manually updating the score. We're at let's play e4. Okay, now center counter is on our tier list with black. I'm just gonna play knight f3, bishop e2, castle, and d4. Just to very simple, just get the king out of the center to start with. Go c4, knight c3, and queen b3. They should have pulled a Kimi, leave me alone. I know what I'm doing. Yeah. Let's go d5 here. Center counter Scandinavian. It's called both. I'm just gonna take here. I'm giving up a pawn, but I'm playing for fast activity in the center of the board. I can just check and play like rook d1, bishop b5, bishop e3. He does have queen e4, which I missed, but I guess I have knight d4 maybe. But let's just take. Let's hit the actually probably this was a mistake. I should have checked first, but take, activate the kebab with rook d7. I can develop the bishops. Should be very, very good here if I play this precise. Let's go here, target the knight. Should be very good in our, I mean, at top level, this is absolutely nothing for me, but it's playable. Aiden Ross at 60k viewers here on Kick. You have to catch him. I don't expect to catch up to him for many reasons, but first and foremost, because frankly, he's banned on any of the other platforms. I'm not, and I stream on the other platforms. So it's a little bit different. Rook b8's a good move. I mean, that's not the only reason, obviously, but like when you look at the numbers, if you're banned somewhere else, that definitely plays a role in terms of the viewership. Let's go b3 here. No, I think 60k for chess is never going to happen. Just, I mean, not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but 60k would be ridiculous. 20k I think is possible. 60k definitely not. Let's go rook c7 and hit the pawn on a7. But also, of course, we're going to see, like, you know, if more big streamers are coming over to kick, what's going on. Obviously we have to wait and see on that too. Yeah, go rook d7, hit the bishop c4, the double op combo, very, very powerful here. Even XQC, I'm not convinced that if XQC just tomorrow starts streaming on both Twitch and Kick, I'm not convinced he would have more than like 30k on Kick. I'm not, actually. Let's go bishop c4 and hit the knight on e6. Anyway, I have 2 extra pawns on the queen side to push up the board. Chess.com is 70k on Twitch. Well, Chess.com, there's this little thing called an embed that adds about, during the World Championship, probably added at least 10,000 people who are just on the website. So the numbers aren't always completely trustworthy. Okay, we get the win. Let's keep going. Another win. F3. I don't know what F3 is. Let's play E5 and D5 here. And bishop c5. When is the Isle of Man tournament? I don't know. In October, I guess. I'm gonna go d4 here. Let's go knight c6 and open up the position here quite a bit. Where am I from? I'm from all over the world, but I grew up in I was born in Japan, spent like the first 5 to 6 years of my life in the Mojave Desert in California, about 2 hours north of Los Angeles. I was trying to do like the trucker pronunciation, but anyway, yeah, I spent like the first. D's knight's very powerful, by the way. Look at all these jumpers. So I spent like the first 5-6 years of my life in the Mojave Desert, and then I grew up in Westchester County, just outside of Manhattan. So I first like 5-6 years in California, and then I grew up in Westchester, about 40 minutes north of Manhattan. Let's just bring the knights back. In the desert, well, it's I grew up there because my mom's parents were my mom's father specifically worked for the United States government. He was like he was a chemist for the US government. They have a naval weapons station out there, so that's why. Let's just trade, bring the knight back, and win the game, and then play like f5 f4. So that's what's going on. Let's play f5 f4. Go f4, lock the bishop in jail here, and now finish development. This bishop is absolutely horrendous on g2. Area 51, no, it's China Lake. China Lake. It's like they test weapons and other all sorts of other bad stuff. Let's go queen d6 here, maybe rook d8, maybe rook e8. Play queen a6, hit the pawn on a2. Should be winning here. Actually, I'm gonna fork him with the knight again. Weapons, monkas, yeah, they do like weapons testing. Like you hear like jets like flying every so often and all that good stuff. I guess I'll just take the pawn here. I mean, come on, we spent trillions of dollars on defense budget, so I mean, they better be doing something. Let's go queen a2 and hit the bishop on g2 here. Let's take the pawn, take with the knight. Any good tourist destinations in Ridgecrest? Ridgecrest itself, no. I mean, like you can drive to Death Valley, of course, which is relatively nearby. I mean, what else is? I'm trying to think if there's anything specifically. Yeah, I can't really think of specific stuff. There are a lot of films, a lot of like the desert scenes you see in movies are filmed in areas near there. Let's go rook d8. I mean, this guy should resign. I don't know why he's refusing to resign, but let's just go here. And rook d4. Will I play blitz later if I can get more games? Of course I will. Checkmate. Time to resign. Yeah, the 2 towers. By the way, those of you guys are asking about an Oscar. I don't have one here, but when I won this prize for Grandmaster of the Year from the United States Chess Federation, I did basically get an Oscar look-alike. So I do have a statue that's like an Oscar from when I got that from when I got the Grandmaster of the Year award. Go knight c6, just classic Caro Khan. Let's take with the knight. What's your favorite award that I've ever gotten? I don't have one. Let's go here in castles. Let's go knight f6 back and maybe h6 knight before. Yeah, because basically every year the United States Chess Federation has a bunch of awards that they give out, and they gave one out. I mean, if you were to ask me my favorite, is that my favorite award? No, it's definitely not, because I mean, it's like I didn't get that for an actual like performance. Like, it wasn't for an actual competition that I got that. So I would say my favorite ever, I don't even know what my favorite prize was, but honestly I think it's probably, I would say probably the thing that I'm happiest about, it's not about the trophy, it was the 2019 US Championship. That's probably the happiest. That's probably because it was the most unexpected sort of unexpected victory in terms of tournaments, because everyone was already writing me off from classical chess. I'm like, I'm done, I'm washed, etc. And that's even before I had started streaming. So yeah, America's Cup was great, but definitely winning the US Championship in 2019. Okay, this bro thinks he's like Michael Tal and he can just sack pieces, but instead he just traps his bishop and he loses the game. Most interesting trophy I received was for winning the Fisher Random Championship in Iceland at the end of last year. It was let's just say it was different. it was kind of like getting it was different, whatever. Okay, I'm gonna place like a Bond Cloud with King E7 because I can. It was different, let's leave it at that. Okay, let's see what Pascal Bradley does. He plays bishop a2, which is a mistake, because now, actually maybe it's not a big mistake, it's not right, but I'm gonna go here. If he takes, I just take back. Are you the best American chess player? I mean, I've actually messed this up. This is not trivial anymore. I'm still gonna win the game, but it's not trivial. Yeah, it's a chicken trophy, chicken or poop trophy, or whatever you want to call it. So it's what it is. Anyway, goes there. I go here. I put my king on the safe square. Queen f6. Next move, maybe bishop f4. Even everything is good here. I'm just gonna go back though, and queen c7, obviously. Actually, now I can just hit him with bishop f4. Knight guards the bishop, and I can just trade off the juicers, because I have an extra bishop at the end of the day. Let's trade it all down. Let's go here. Who is better, Hikaru or Magnus? Obviously Magnus. I mean, that's not even a question objectively, but I'm proud of the career I've had. And like most people of my generation, you know, I'm very unlucky that I live in the time of Magnus. I think my accomplishments would be far greater, just like Fabiano, Levon, everybody else. Their accomplishments would be far greater if not for this Norwegian guy. That's just the reality. Okay, I'm gonna trade the ponies. Let's just go here and bishop c6, win the pawn. Now I've got a great bishop that's anchored by the pawn here. They both guard each other, and I can take and I can spy the pawn on g2 down the road. What makes Magnus so good? I mean, it's just intangibles. Obviously prepares a lot, very good understanding, but it's just the intangibles where I think in critical moments in games somehow he just has it, like he's got that feel. It's like Michael Jordan in the clutch. When, you know, it's like at the end of the game, how does Michael Jordan always hit that shot? Like, there are plenty of players who will like hit the shot every time in practice, but then when they're in the moment, they can't hit it. It's just like, it's just one of those things. Like, yeah, clutch gene, whatever you want to call it, just one of those things. And it's weird because chess is not a sport, but it does happen. It's like the mind, whatever. Here's a Botez Gambit, by the way. Yeah. Play e4. Maybe Magnus is better, but you have personality. Thank you so much, Nervous Harpist, for the host with 7. Thank you so much. Let's play the Caro-Kann here. Magnus is just able to hit more dunks, exactly. Let's go bishop c4, knight f3. Thank you so much, Nervous Harpist. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Harpist. Are you playing the harp on stream? Do I understand that correctly? That's pretty rad if true. Go Ricky. And how much studying do you think Magnus does these days? Not a lot recently. I'm sure with Norway chess in the future he will. And obviously he's playing the Grand Chess Tour event in Poland soon, so he'll be working more. Now he can't play h6 with the pin, is very annoying. His bishop is always spying everything here. It's a while since American hasn't won the world championship. I mean, it's been like 50 years. Bobby Fischer in 72. But of course, I won the Fischer Random World Championship. So if we're going to count that as a world championship, we're going to count Rapid and Blitz, and you have to count that as a world championship. So I personally don't really consider it the same thing, but people will say what they want to say. Let's trade some bishops here. You're the third most influential player in history. Thank you to OU812 Dad for gifting 10 subs to community. Thank you so much to OU812 Dad. Thank you so much. I assume OU, or no, it's OSU for Ohio State. But anyway, thank you to OU. Appreciate it. Thank you. I'm third most influential player in history after Magus and Vichy, or after Vichy and Magus, I should say, because they are. I think Vichy is the most influential. If we look at it from the perspective of like people who actually play the game at a high level, I think that I would have to say Vichy Anand. He's done more for chess than any other player. I mean anyone, period, actually. Like not even influencers, but even just players. He's done more than anybody else. Oklahoma University, nice. So I think Vichy's number 1, Magus is number 2, and then probably, yeah, you could say I'm number 3. I mean, but again, can you really say I'm number 3? I mean, Gary's done a heck of a lot too, in a sense. Like that's the thing I forgot about. Yeah, there's Gary. I think it's Skydive the Ranch for the 5 gifted. So probably I think you in all fairness, like, you know, I can try to be an ego Andy and pretend, but I think in all fairness, you probably have to say I'm number 4. I don't think you can put me above Gary. I don't think you can. I mean, because Gary really did popularize the game a lot during his time as the world chess champion. I'm gonna go here. I'm threatening h6 to win the knight. There's a lolly mate as well. No, we can. I mean, maybe. Oh, Bobby. Yeah, Bobby's I mean, Bobby's just impossible to rank. Honestly, like in all seriousness, like it's impossible to rank because Bobby is like massive for the game. But Bobby also was very, very brief. That's the problem. Like that, I go here and I'm gonna lolly him on g7. There's classic lolly checkmate with queen g7 next move. Yeah, just lolly. Of course, to be fair to anybody who's watching, they're like, "What? You just said lolly?" This queen g7 checkmate is based off of a checkmate that was that's named after the famous Italian chess player Giambattista Lolli from Italy. He lived in like the late 1700s into the 1800s. So don't have such dirty thoughts in your mind, because it's actually named after a famous chess player. Okay, how many wins do we have now? Are we up to? We are up to. No, we're too short of 150. Let's go e4 here.